before we even choose peace. Yeah. We have to acknowledge that in the world, as the Pope puts it in the above indiction, in the world there is conflict, and this conflict is at different levels. We have conflict at the global level, we have conflict at the national level, local level. You have conflict even at family level, conflict even at individual level. You can have conflict within yourself, against yourself, or to yourself, something like that. So there's this situation that we need to acknowledge of conflict. And if we allow conflict to go on, like we don't do anything concrete about it, then what we do is we destroy ourselves. We destroy ourselves as in the present, but we also destroy the future. We destroy those that are coming in the future, because we will not have taught them that there's something beautiful about life. They will have just learned conflict. So those of us that have power to do something about the conflict that we see, it doesn't matter at what level, there's something that we need to do about that conflict so that we promote peace. Hence, choosing peace over conflict. Now, peace is not just the absence of blows and slaps and bombs and guns and things like that. Peace is not just the absence of that. It is also the promotion of human life, the integral development of human life. Once we get to that level where we promote integral development, where we provide the basic needs of human existence, therein we are at the same time promoting peace. Because sometimes we want to think peace is only when we don't have bombs and guns and things like that, fighting. But peace is more than just that. So when we talk about peace, we are talking about a very big concept. And of course, also the other side, when we talk about conflict, we're also talking about a huge concept that can be viewed from various angles. So how do we promote this peace over conflict? It certainly is, first of all, acknowledging that there is something that is off about our existence, about our world, about the way we are living. There's something that is not in order, something that needs to be addressed. We make that acknowledgement. You see, I can give you an example of somebody who has a problem with alcohol, okay? And everybody knows that this person has a problem with alcohol. Because when they drink, they lose their mind and they don't want to stop drinking. They drink and drink until there's nothing more to drink. So clearly, everybody knows that this person has a problem with alcohol, and therefore they need what? They need help. Yeah. Now, this person will not receive help unless he himself, she herself, acknowledges that they have a problem. If the problem is only being acknowledged by people from outside, then those people from outside, there's very little that they can do to help you. You have to acknowledge it yourself. There are people that you are going to confront and say, you have a problem, you need to change. They will tell you, no, I don't have a problem. Maybe you are the one that is a problem. How do you see a problem? You are the one that has a problem. So they deny the fact that they have a problem. And that becomes a challenge. They will not receive help at all. But that person who tells themselves that I need help, I have this issue, this problem, and it is affecting a lot of things about my life, and therefore I need help. That person will easily get that help. So why am I giving this scenario? It is it's for the reason that we also, as humanity, at any given level, we need to acknowledge the fact that we have a problem for us to find a solution to the problem that we have acknowledged. So if at domestic level there's conflict, and yet we can't acknowledge that there is conflict, then we will not receive help from anywhere. If wife and husband, you are arguing and fighting all the time, and since you have gotten used to arguing and fighting, you think that is the normal way of being husband and wife, then you will not receive help at all, because that has become part of you. That it has become like part of the definition of marriage. And therefore nobody will come into your house and say, imwe, yai, mukalido wachoncho ai. You just look at this person and say, what is your problem? If ende momeneti mankalila so chabi. So that couple will not receive help at all. So we need to acknowledge. Pope Francis makes it very clear in the document, and he says that there's turmoil. In fact, he uses the word turmoil. Yes, there's turmoil. There's confusion in the world, and he talks about this more at a global level, where country rises against country, and he says there's very little that is being done by those that have the power to do something about that. You see, when there is a war between this country and that war is not just between those two countries. That war is in the world. That war is going to affect a lot of things, a lot of people. I can give you an example of the war between Russia and Ukraine. Okay? Well, back here in Zambia, but in a way, we felt the impact of that war.
Yes.
So what affects those two countries affects everybody, and so we are all concerned. They say if you are not infected, you are affected. So we are all part of the problem, and therefore we should all as well be part of the solution. We can't just fold our arms and say, ninkanyao baje ngati bamenyana nizao. Tomorrow that war is going to spill into your own house, and then you begin to tell yourself, I should have done something to help that situation. So Pope Francis is talking about war in the world, but we can bring it down also, war between people, war among people in the community, within our own context. Munyumba yapa neighbor paja, if things are not going right, it is not their problem. It is our problem, because whatever war is going on in that house may tomorrow find itself in our compound. Now we are talking about war in Congo, in Goma. Congo is just neighbor.
Next door neighbor.
Yes, neighbor. And you might think, ni Nkondo yaku Congo. Ni zao. I don't even know why they are fighting. Anyway, it's not even my business. Ni nkani zao. But no, that war, tomorrow will find itself in your compound, and then you realize, maybe I should have taken interest before it grew this big. That's why those that have power to sit down and discuss should actually do that and discuss amicably. How do we sort out this problem? This is the call that the Holy Father is bringing forth.
Now, Father, those who have power to do something, why don't they do it?
There are many reasons. It's very difficult to say. We can speculate. We can talk about selfishness. We can talk about external forces or external reasons and all that. And I think we shouldn't so much go into why they don't, because we might speculate too much. But the issue is more to do with they should do something. Whatever is making them not to do anything or not to have those cardinal meetings for them to sort out the problem, we might not know whatever is. But what we know is something has to be done about that situation. Those people are just the same as ourselves. People from Congo, we are just the same people. I think we are just the same people.
Yeah, same.
If a Congolese came here and sat here, I wouldn't even tell this one is Congo. They have to go through all that. Well, even men, we can't say men should stand in the battlefront. No. Everybody's suffering. Even the soldiers themselves, they have families, by the way.
Yes.
They have children that are looking up.
Yes.
But they have to serve their countries. They are sent into war. Some of them are dying there. Others are getting wounded and all that. Something needs to be done to stop that. So, in the Bull of Indiction, what we are saying is all these things that are going on, turmoils, confusions, wars, conflict, whatever, should not define our life. What should define our life is peace. And there must be something concretely done to allow peace to define our life.
Okay, Father, just like you said, as you gave an example of Ukraine and Russia going battling for reasons best known to everybody.
Yeah.
It's known, yes. Why is it important to choose peace in a divided world? like what we're seeing, there's division between Russia and Ukraine, and then we're also seeing Congo, and there's also Rwanda that is coming in bit by bit. We don't know where it's going, but we're seeing it's moving. Why is it important in such times to choose peace?
Where there's peace, there's development. You know, the Catholic social teaching says that the other name for development is peace, and it is true. The other name for development is peace. Look at countries where there is no peace. Look at the havoc that is there. Look at the suffering that is there because there is no peace. Even at the family level. Panyumba ngati palibe mtendere. Just imagine you're coming from a house that has never known peace. Just maonekedwa chabe. So there's munyumba, the house is dirty. Just look at how people listen to people in that house, the way they talk to each other. There's nothing that you're looking forward to when it is time to go back home. You know, timakamba ati kunganda kufuile kule kuita. Ngana we mkwangala shani kawaenda kuti. Ufuile wafuluka kunganda. Let me go kunganda kule kuita. Now, when there is no peace at home, tawafuluke kunganda yo because there's no peace. So, peace, the importance of peace cannot even be overemphasized. You know, it is what we need. It is what we need. If we want to see development, what we need first of all is peace. If we want to see smiles on people's faces, first of all, what we need is peace. Look at that person who is undergoing depression. You know, if you are undergoing depression, you don't have peace in your life, in your heart at all. Look at how miserable they look. You know, look at how it's a terrible sight, so to say. So peace is everything. So we need peace for self-development, individual development, peace for community development, peace for the family to flourish, and peace in the country for us to see development. Without peace, hey, go to countries where there is no peace and then you see what you're talking about.
All right.
Yeah.
Father, why is hope important in overcoming global turmoil?
Yeah, the concept of hope. Yeah.
We're coming back to hope again.
Yes, definitely.
It's all about hope.
Yes.
We have to come back to hope. First of all, let me say, in a country where there is confusion, where there is war, there is very little hope to talk about. Yeah. People lose their minds. People don't have the opportunity to see or to appreciate the fact that there could be light at the end of the tunnel. They tend to see that war as the end of their life, especially if the war is intense and nobody seems to be doing something to stop it. People lose hope, really. They just surrender. They just say, okay, let me just die in this war. Yeah. So what the message that we all have to carry is that regardless of the confusion that could be there at whatever level, we should never kill the spark of hope that we carry within ourselves. Yeah. At individual level, you could be going through thick and thin. Grace, have you ever gone through thick and thin?
Yes.
You know what thick and thin is?
Yes.
Wow.
We all have our definition of thick and thin.
Thick and thin.
Thick and thin.
Yeah. When you are going through thick and thin, yeah, it's not so nice.
It's not so good.
Yeah. No, when somebody comes to, when you are right in the middle of things, somebody comes to encourage you. They come to talk to you about being positive about life. You know, you think you tend to feel they're just bothering you.
Yeah.
Because they have no idea.
They don't understand.
What you're going through.
They have no idea at all. So they can say whatever they want to say. In fact, at some point you even switch off. You're not listening to them anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Sometimes we find someone consoling someone who has lost a loved one. The next moment it's him but they can't be consoled as well.
Yeah.
But earlier on, they were consoling someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're not in that situation, you might not really understand how heavy that bag of salt is. But if you're the one carrying it, then you realize, this is what it means to lose a loved one, for example. This is what it means to be depressed. Yeah. So in that moment of crisis, that moment of dryness, that moment of depression, there's very little hope to talk about. But the worst harm that one can do to oneself is to kill even the last spark of hope left in them. We should never kill that, because every moment we understand is a phase. Some phases take long to pass. Others pass quickly, but every moment is a phase.
It's a phase.
Yeah. If it is a phase of depression, you're not going to be depressed throughout your life. You should be able to look up and say, okay, I'm going through this, but I can see light at the end of this tunnel. And that in itself becomes the source of your hope. You know, the logo talks about the anchor. The anchor. Yeah. So that spark of light at the end of the tunnel becomes your anchor, becomes something to look forward to. So, in as much as we want to promote peace, we should also promote the message of hope. That's why this, I always say this message of hope is not just a Catholic thing. Yeah, the theme of hope. It's not just hope is a concept that applies everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, it doesn't matter which church you go to. So if the Pope this year is talking about the message of hope, if you are SDA, you are Watchtower, whatever church you go to, take interest, because you also need hope. You've also have had your own moments of depression, and what you need in those moments is hope. So the message of hope that our church is proclaiming, is sending out this year, is a message that goes to everybody. Doesn't matter the church you go to, the denomination you belong. All that is secondary. The message of hope is universal. Everybody needs hope to survive.
Never should we lose at any time our hope in Christ.
Exactly.
Stress non-confronted. Indeed, hope does not.
I can't pronounce that one.
Yeah, it takes good practice anyway.
Indeed.
Yeah. So, okay, is it possible for unity to prevail in during war, and how can nations come together and have unity? If it's possible to have unity, if it's possible for unity to prevail during war, how can nations come together and choose peace during war? Father.
Yeah, the concept of unity is important when as we try to preach the message of peace and the message of hope. The question of unity comes in because without unity, we can't achieve anything. If you have to sit down with your adversary to sort out a problem, then the aspect of unity comes in. Disunity is where you don't want even to have anything to do with the other. Like you just want to exist in your own world, doing your own thing. Like you cut yourself completely off from the other. But unity is where you acknowledge the fact that you don't exist alone. You exist with others, and therefore there's something that you don't have that the other has. So you can only complement each other if you come together, and therefore the aspect of unity comes in. We're talking about turmoils. We're talking about wars, confusions in the world at family level, at individual level, and all that. For us to promote peace in this context, we have to acknowledge the fact that we don't exist. We don't exist alone. I don't exist alone. I exist with you. I exist with the other. I think we might have mentioned to say what affects your neighbor might tomorrow spill over to your compound, might affect you, because we are not what can I say? We are not alone in this world. What affects that person can also affect me. So for us to solve the problem that is there, we have to come together, sit at a table like this, and talk about whatever demon is taking away our peace and is taking away our hope. So the aspect of unity is important, but even as we talk about unity, it's important also to acknowledge that we are not all the same. We are different. But Steve, you can't be me and I can't be you. Grace, you can't be me and I can't be you. We are different. And this is the beauty of life. Diversity is the beauty of life. This is how God wanted us to exist. And it is okay. Like, imagine a world where we are just the same thing. The same. Thinking the same way, liking the same things. And imagine that. For me, I think it would be a very boring world. Yeah. So the beauty of life is diversity. But sometimes this diversity, we as human beings can use it to bring about division, to bring about conflict. If you are different from me, then we can't relate. You have nothing to do with me. Sometimes we speak that language. We use our being different to divide, and that is why wars even erupt, because you are different from me. Therefore, we are competitors. We are rivals. I have to fight you. If you are not going to join me, if you have people in this world that are trying to create other people in their own likeness and image.
Yes.
But Steve, if I meet you today and I immediately see there's something wrong with you, the first thing I want is to create you according to my likeness and image, according to what I think you should be. Not for me to say, okay, yes, there's this that is off about him, but there's also this aspect which is okay. But we immediately want to start fixing other people. Come I fix you. Come I fix you.
Change to this.
Fixing other people. Yeah. So we use diversity to bring about division, But diversity is beautiful. Diversity should be promoted. We have to be different. Even at a place of work like here at Radio Maria. You have for us to have this transmission, you have people who are experts in different areas. Sound, others this cameramen kuliko n'abashimoneka background, they do the work right in the background. Exactly. And every company has this kind of an arrangement. Even during mass, during mass we have people that are doing different duties for us to have beautiful mass. We have choir, father, usher, nan. Every person has a responsibility. So diversity is beautiful. We need it. But then diversity should not be misunderstood to be like the fountain of division. And that is why we end up in war. Because we want to say this one is different and therefore I have to conquer him. I have to conquer her. And that is what brings about but we can use diversity to come together in order to promote unity. We can say, okay, yes, we are different. The three of us here, we are different. And we are gifted differently. Yeah. So why don't we come together and complement each other?
And make a beautiful thing out of it.
Exactly. So there's something that I have which you don't have. There's something that she has which you don't have. So why don't we come together and say, okay, let us share our gifts. And when we share our gifts in that manner, what we are promoting is unity. And when we promote unity, we promote peace as well. And we fight conflict. Conflict cannot arise where there is unity. Conflict cannot arise where there is peace, where there is in fact, in the final analysis, what we are promoting is hope. There is hope for humanity when humanity comes together to talk amicably and to sort out the little demons that cause confusion and to seek to work together as one human community. There is hope in the final analysis.
Okay. Dear listeners and viewers, if you are just tuning in, this is the Pilgrims of Hope, a program that is here to help us understand the bull of benediction by our Holy Father. Hope you will learn one or two by the time we'll be saying our bye-byes. We want you, as we are journeying together on this program, hope you pick one or two things that you'll be able to tell a friend that hasn't listened to this program. A friend will tell a friend. Yeah, so hope you are ready to journey with us today on this program. Stephen.
Yes, indeed. We hope our dear listeners and viewers are joining with us, as you have said. And today we are looking at a call for peace, hope amidst global turmoil. Kunshupa kutemo. I'm happy, Father, you emphasized on the need not to lose hope amidst everything, and it's from, I would like to believe it's from hope that we can do a lot and overcome these conflicts. Maybe the other aspect I want you, Father, to touch on is on the conflicts at home. I would like to believe again that it's from the homes, then you also take it out to others. So how can we promote this unity, this peace at family level?
At family level, at family level, things start very small. Things, or let me say, confusion starts like a leakage. Sometimes your temptation is just to put a plastic there. When you put a plastic or a rubber band, you have not
sorted that.
No, it is still there. But that's what we do. You put a plastic there and okay, we are okay. 2-3 years down the line, you see the plastic is worn out. Then you see water leaking out. Panafoot. Let me plastic to be kept. Now, that thing is that pipe is rotting, and the leakage is growing bigger by the day, by the month, by the year. It is growing bigger until it reach a point where not even a plastic will be able to
work.
Exactly.
Who do the job.
Then you just have to get rid of the whole pipe. But then maybe at that point it will have been too late, because you'll have lost a lot of volumes of water.
Card bills.
Bills, exactly.
Maybe even the other pipes may be affected. The other one
maybe.
They get to join.
So a lot of other things would have been.
Even the water becomes contaminated.
Yeah.
You see? So this is something that could have been prevented. So immediately you see, I always give this other example also, the typical African kitchen. The typical African kitchen. I don't know why, but every kitchen has this thing. There's this window. Okay? This window in front of the sink. There's this window. I don't know why, but that window is always broken. But that window in front of it,
very vulnerable.
That window always has a crack.
Yes.
So what do we do in a typical African African kitchen? Yes, we put a chichi board there. Plastic or whatever. That's what we put there. When I was young, I could observe my mother. If a pot had a hole, then she wants to prepare food. She wants to maybe boil water, and then the pot is leaking. What would she do?
Plastic.
She knows.
Put what?
Minimum.
Oh, okay.
So kupupira moto wunga then that minimum goes and settles down.
Yeah.
Then the leakage is sorted. But the question is that leakage sorted? No, it is not. That broken window in front of the sink in the kitchen, when you put a cardboard there, has it been sorted? No, it is not. Even when your bed is kapena kwenda kumozi ngotyoka mwatenga chimwala mfaka mwawika. Have you sorted out no? Of course it will not be making noise anymore, but the problem is still there. And this is how we handle problems at domestic level. We don't want to address issues when they are still small. We want to say, it's like a small issue. It will die a natural death. We have more important things to talk about. Why should we be talking about ndio mlipe soti mlipe ndio musoti mlipe soti ambiri mundio? Why should we be talking about that? Why should we be talking about that? But if we are not sorting out issues when they are still very small, those issues slowly, even without without noticing or without acknowledging it, those issues create bitterness. Yeah, they slowly build bitterness in people's hearts, slowly until that bitterness cannot be held in the heart anymore. At that point, it has to explode.
It erupts.
Yeah, when it erupts, boom, then that's when you begin to see, 5 years ago, this is what you did. 2 years ago, this is what happened. I never just talked about it. But you did the same. You came at 23 hours last month. I just looked at you. I didn't want to talk about it, because then maybe it was not very important, but you continued. 10 years ago, you went to, you see, people, because this bitterness has been building slowly, Mutima, slowly. You see, the only way to have peace at family level, whenever there is something that is off, that needs to be addressed, that needs to be talked about, don't put a plastic on it. That's a small leakage that is going to burst the whole pipe tomorrow, and you have a whole, a huge problem to sort out in front of you. Sort out the problem when they arise. At whatever, sit down. If it is husband and wife, my lomunabura 23 hours, sina mverebu. Sorry. No, I was just in. Yeah. Naetambabola. If your husband or your wife has done something that even by 1% or 2% has bothered you, don't tell yourself, let me just forget about it. Address it. Because that is already bitterness building up. And tomorrow there's going to be a huge problem. You will not even Zakanga. Yeah. So you have people today of the same family, husband, wife, children, and parents, brother, sister, who live in the same house, eat from the same pot, but they don't talk to each other. Yeah. Because they have never sat down to sort out the issues that they've been having. They always tell themselves, nikangon. But then things have grown so huge that they can't handle them anymore. So they just withdraw from each other's lives. They begin to live like zombies in the same house.
Picture no sound.
Picture no sound. The so-called silent treatments. Yeah. So talk about issues while they are still. Don't put plastics.
So that bitterness, it can even go out now. It affects even how you relate with the outside world.
Exactly. St. John Paul II, in his book The Theology of the Body, talks about the family as the cell of society. Yeah, he says the family is a cell of the bigger community. Meaning that you can't have the bigger community without the family. Now, that also means that if the family is not stable, society out there is not stable also. Yeah. Because the society is coming together as society because of these small cells, family. So imagine, let's say, a parish, okay? A parish, because the family is also a domestic church. Now, a parish of... I don't know how many families. Now, these families are not stable for whatever reason. Do you expect the parish to be stable? No. Yeah. They say you can't give what you don't have. If you are not stable back home, you are not going to go out there and give stability.
Bring stability to the table.
Not at all. So it's important to take care of the family. Before, maybe we should have started from this point, that we take care of the family before we talk about peace in the world out there, before we talk about peace in the community. First, let us have peace at the family level. Let us have hope at the family level. Because the family is what is going to determine whether there's going to be peace out there or not. So it's important for the family to be at peace, because this is what the family will take out there to society to share with other people. Remember, we don't exist in isolation. As a family, we don't exist alone. Life does not revolve around us. We exist with other people. And so whatever we're going through could also affect the family next door. So if we are going through confusion, the family next door should be concerned, because they too do not exist alone. We exist as a community. But we have to exist as a community that gives hope to each other. We exist as a community of peace. When we have a compound of peace, eventually we're going to have a township of peace, a city of peace, a country of peace, a continent of peace, and a world of peace. Everything starts from the family. That small cell of society.
Okay, so Father, what you're saying is these are two siblings that are growing up, and this other one always wants things to always be done for themselves. They don't want to share with their other sibling. All they want is me. Why her? Why not me? You know, is that what you're trying to say? To say if we deal with that in families, definitely those children will grow to acknowledge other people's importance, because you cannot only want things for yourself. Because that's where conflict comes from.
Selfishness.
Yes, are you also agreeing to that?
You see, parents have a very cardinal role to play in their bringing of children. What they give to their children is how the children are going to be brought up. So if you are, if you as a couple, you have, let's just say you have 2 children, okay? But then in the way you treat the 2 children, it becomes clear that you give more attention to one over the other. So these 2 children will look at each other and say, okay. First of all, that one who receives more attention will be like, I'm more important. I'm special.
I do things right.
Yes. My mom always buys me chocolate, and she buys a cob of maize for the other one. For me, it is yogurt. The other one is chiwantu. You see? So this person already begins to position himself or herself as special because of the way the parents are treating. What as parents, what you are, the seed you are sowing in the two will also determine how they're going to treat each other. Yeah. So one is going to be selfish over the other because that is what you have given them. That is the picture you have shown to your children to say, what I've given you is yours alone. Don't share with your sister. Don't share with your brother. It is yours. So this person begins to grow up believing that what they receive from their mother or father is just theirs. It can't be shared with the other. And my mother's given me chocolate because I'm special. The other one has not been given anything because he or she is not as special as I am. So parents always have a very important role. How do you treat the children that you have in your house? Do you treat them equally, or do you show preference of one over the other? Favoritism, yes. Do you show that? Whether indirectly or directly, as parents, you are not supposed to show that. All the people that you have in your house, in fact, even those that are not your biological children, they are also your children. They are under your guardianship. They are also your children. Osa pasa umozi mbali ya derere wina ngampasa chibero chankuku. No. If it is derere for everyone. If it is in kuku, it is chicken for everyone. That is how you make your children believe to say we are all just the same thing.
Even schools, you find that this one goes to this
community school. The other one,
not even government school, but the community.
Yeah. So as parents, what you give to your children is what your children are going to believe. Is what they will believe to be the norm or what life should be. If you show them this one is more important than the other, and that's what they're going to grow up believing.
Actually, Father, what you've said has just reminded me. School, you know, I met this one person that would always be so defensive, you know. They're trying to reason to say, no, here, let's do this, but they're always defensive. And then the other thing is they always feel like they can never be chosen, they can never be the one to do certain things, you know. So this particular person, each time you tell them to say, no, okay, we have a group work, let's work like this. This person will always go like, why me? Okay, why should I sanke John? So there was this time I actually said, okay, maybe there's something wrong. I called that person to say, okay, where have you seen a problem where this person had to call you to say, okay, we need to do this? Then he was so defensive, like, okay, why are bone phones? You see, things like that. And then as time went by, he was like, that's when he was like, no, me, from the time I grew up, I've never been chosen. Like even in the house, when it's time to go out, they always tell me, no, you have to remain home. Like I've always been sidelined, and then I always feel like maybe that's where I belong. And then when I see somebody trying to call me to say, okay, you're supposed to be here, I feel like balance setting. I feel, you know. So I was like, okay, indeed, peace has to, and everything really starts from home.
Because that's the seed which the parents sowed in the life of that person. Yeah, it's just like somebody who has been abused from childhood, not once, not twice, many times. So this person grows up with that personality, which we can say a damaged personality. That person, you'll be able to tell. I mean, when they grow up, they begin to mingle with others, let's say at university, college, other people will be able to tell there's something off about this person. You know, if you don't understand their childhood, you don't know anything about what happened when they were, you actually be avoiding them to say, no, this one
has a problem.
So there's a lot that as parents it's important to sow the good seed in the children when they're still in Bemba again we say limbula isansalila tadila anda mishila.
What does that mean?
Limbula tadila anda mishila. So when the child is still very young, it is easier to teach them because they are still young. You know, it's like a plant. It sounds like a plant which is just growing. It is easy for you to uproot it when it is small. But when it grows to a certain size, you will not be able to uproot it because the roots will have gone really deep down. So some of the problem children that the parents are grappling with today are those that they never tried to pay attention to when they were still very small. Now that they have grown, they are mwana wanga kumwa maningi, mwana wanga. But maybe you never did much of your homework when this person was still young.
Wow, I'm enjoying the.
Hope our listeners and viewers are also at least journeying with us, you know, because this program is here for our viewers and listeners, so that so that we can spread the gospel of peace to everyone around us and let them feel the peace when they come close to us. They should know to say, okay, this one is a pilgrim of peace. This one is a pilgrim of hope. This one is on a pilgrimage of hope indeed. Still.
Yes, as we slowly get to the close of the program, maybe Father, you can touch on the aspect of dialogue. Is dialogue very important in this whole issue of hope, peace, unity, dialogue?
In fact, this has been the issue of dialogue has been the song that the Holy Father has been singing as he's been addressing those who have something to do about the conflict that is there, who have the power, not some, but the power to do something about. He has been talking about dialogue, and I think we can all agree that dialogue, even though it is difficult, you know, it's not easy to sit at the same table with somebody you differed with. It has to take a lot of courage. But dialogue has proved to be a very effective way of sorting out conflict. If you don't talk, you cannot sort out the problem.
Okay, Father, just before you go any further, for the sake of our grandparents that are listening to us, please try to break down dialogue.
Dialogue.
What does it mean?
It is da-ya-lo-go. Dialogue.
That's a nice one.
Kwikala panshi kulanshanya. Ngapali ubwafya analanda mchivemba. Kabika mujika ifinyanja for twafisha. Mawedzi yala
chitaiva pure.
Yala kama mawedzi. So ngachakwa tipali ubwafya pakati kabantu babiri. Limokola bafya kwati mbi balalo lishanya fe twachatira picture no sound. Balalo lishanya fe kwa kulokulanda pali pachiretero bwafya pakati kawo. Nomba ngefyo Papa Francis atufunda ilingengalera nda entungulushi Yesu chakwata makaya yakushitapo chimo pankondo shintu tulemona atila twabona kwikala panshi nokulanshanya kulanda pali chinshi pachileleto obwafya pakati kesu no bakati abantu bekale panshi cha muntu afuro kukwata kupanga decision mutu mwako kwa ati kwena kanjenje kumanya omunandi twikale panshi twande palichi ngata kuli kupanga echo muntu okupanga decision uyo dialogue tuletira dialogue tetipabe kulanshanya tetipabe kwikala panshi pakati balande pachileleto obwafya tetipabe munshile shingi ili okuba inkondo lekana libe ni panganda ni muchalo libe ni pakatika katubungwe tubiri sonde lyonse ilingi fumabe kuno moko kulanshanya kwali tulango ko batenshiraimo inga twafirisha kuleta omutende pakati kesu agresi mlecho mfwecho ukulanshanya myakafe ya kuno moko abantu nga bayikala pa ngefini twikele pano pete bulo around people ngabaika la panshi bala lanshanye banena tukwato obwafye no bwafye tukwete nyu kwena walilubile munina ne walilubile no mana ine wine mbi munshaye mona alilubile no mba twala wikishanya shani pada pakati pada pafule babana umo wa pakati fie ulabatira ati muchisunga tishani
abachita conflict resolution
chichine sungu mwala udia wako pakati ushi le ikumika kulu balulu lonse tali uku alife pakati ulia muntu ulia ilingi ngatwa chileta mu context yesu kuchaba ni eklezia katolika ni eklezia katolika ala afudisha muri yonshira na mfemo ni mchalo chesu cha Zambia ilio ba politician bala alaka bala umana bala stashani chala twala kububi limbitwala tina limbi mailo tuma mfemo mishinga shata mpokulira eklezia katolika alema no kutila bachite iseni hapa na bachite iseni hapa na tulanshanye pali ichipantu ichi kuchaleto bwafya chao naula ichalo chesu chao naula umi wabana chao naula umi gwesu wonse so eklezia katolika limo ala umbako yo mulimo namba te kutira eklezia katolika na ina wine muntu fyoli wonse nawe na utaomba ko yo mulimo uwa kuwikishanya abantu nomba pakuti bala babiri bawikishanya nawo bene bafire chafire cyabapinda mu mano ko bati kwena pali ubwafya no ubwafya upakoti tubufumyepo kanufetu waikala panshi no munandi tulanshanya na tuchilete palupo munganda mama yo na batata limo kula bakwatimi kamo kalubana bayambana kaya kapena batate sana bwere ntawe ya bwino mazuro ka baishite ushukupakati okay asmai leven koloko tapyangire munganda
aleshimika grod
aleshimika jashi kupompi bele fina chikontena chinga chimo kupompi bacha 6 koloko mkutapa menshi 7 koloko tapana mfanya ngchimo jo batirepangana 8 koloko na mfe chimo 9 11 koloko edio baleisa bafika panganda tabapyangire au batampo kukunta baye bano mwana ati take up beans 11 koloko take up beans roba beans nga ero tujenshita shubwa kashi mdala paleka ile lelo lesha ala le kabire efu to ala ikale i beans wala sale 11 koloko ino tujenshita shubwa lipana nimbe kuli ba mayo chile muneka fenomo chile muneka fye bwino lelo kuli ba mdala chatampo kwa sta kumutima fidia ini bichashtika lelo bamdala basulako mailo chashtika basulako bulabushiku basulako panono bulobu kalibwile bulefu kula mkatika bamdala mpaka fye bushiku basa tilafye enough is enough chizungu bata enough is enough
shavi
ulia mwaka ni chiwastile ulia mweshi ni na lelo waweke shapo aba nakulu bantu kukankama nafi bushakanshi balapenda bushakanshi akashi na dilubile lidia ilio tuntu tule chitika yaine tatula chitukule mwaikala panshi kwena kuna yobwali 15 hours awe banakulu telanchi yo ni lunch stroke supper
stroke dinner
kia ko bwali 12 koloko na 12:30 na munganda mwine bamayo mwapyanga ko bwangu fia pantu mune palesa abantu pano wino fie munteka mutima mwaikala panshi mwalanshanya bamayana batata
So
dialogue kukulanshanya.
So ibwela pa kuti bazima bavomera kuti no, I am wrong, then and also agreeing to say okay, I will change.
Okay, tekutira fyati bavomera I am wrong. Kutira fye kona pali ubwafya. Whoever is wrong if it fiko tenchito kutira kwena twalaika lashanyi pano tukalaika la definite picture no sound awe pano pali ubwafya, so you acknowledge the problem. Pali vuto ngani nendubire ifo fini ngani bamdala balubire ifo fini ngani munyina nalubire ni ifo fini lero pali ubwafya. So chila muntu chifule cha mupinda mumano kuti inkani tiyenera akukala pansi kuti tikambirane bwino sichonjo. Mukakala pansi tikakala chamupinda mumano chakupinda champinda ero lomba twaisa kala pansi pali ubwafya twalaso vashani ubwafya. Dialogue.
Okay, Father, as we are wrapping up, tambira ko tapunzira kwa tikuli dialogue.
Dialogue.
Muchi nyanja mulanda shan dialogue. Kukambirana.
Kukambirana.
What are your concluding words before we?
Yes, my concluding words from this transmission is that we cannot have peace, we cannot have hope unless we acknowledge that there is turmoil, unless we acknowledge that there is confusion. Take one denial. When we put ourselves in denial, that becomes an obstacle to conflict resolution. First, we acknowledge quite, then after that acknowledgement, then we can see peace coming in and giving hope to one another. So as I'm going to end with these words from Pope Francis. He said this when he addressed us as communicators, where we went to Kuchalo.
Zambia Kuchalo.
Yes, he said in Italiano, but I'm going to say it in English and in
You can say it both ways.
In Italiano. No. So anyway, he said that each one of us is a story. Ognuno di noi è una storia. Each one of us is a story. I carry a story, you also carry a story. He also carries a story. Now the question is, what story do we carry? What story do I carry? Is it a depressing story or is it a happy story? Is it a story that gives hope to the person seated next to me? So he left this challenge with us to reflect, and I want also to extend this challenge to our viewers and listeners to say, you are a story, but what kind of a story are you? What story do you carry? The moment you approach another person, you go into the territory of another person. What are you taking to that person? Is it a depressing story or it is a story that gives hope to that person? Amen.
Right, that is a good one, and we've come to the close of our program. Today we are looking at a call for peace, hope amidst global turmoil. As usual, Father Athan Tembla is with us to enlighten us so that we can live a happy life full of hope and a peaceful life. So thank you so much. It's over to you.
Okay. Thank you so much, our dear listeners and viewers. I hope you have learned and you're going to teach your friends as well about today's topic, which was a call for peace, hope amid this global turmoil. Hope to see you again next time, next place. Always remember that hope does not disappoint. Spread the word of peace, spread the word of love, spread the word of hope to each and everyone that you see around. For now, it is bye from Radio Maria and Lumen TV Zambia. Till next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.